The world is filled with wonders, vast landscapes, ancient forests, and unexplored regions that hide secrets both beautiful and terrifying. Among these mysteries are the countless reports of strange, often unexplainable creatures. Over the centuries, sightings of cryptids, creatures not yet recognized by science, have captured the imagination of people worldwide. Whether it's a giant ape-like beast in the Himalayas or an aquatic monster lurking beneath the surface of a lake, these creatures remain a subject of fascination and debate. From the Loch Ness Monster of Scotland to Bigfoot in North America, the cryptozoology community, which studies these creatures, is constantly trying to uncover the truth. Are these creatures real? Or do they merely exist in the realms of folklore, myth, and illusion? In this article, we will explore some of the most famous mysterious creatures sighted around the world, the evidence supporting their existence, the theories that explain them, and whether we can ever truly know the truth behind these elusive beings. 1. Bigfoot. Sasquatch. North America. Bigfoot, also known as Sasquatch, is perhaps the most famous cryptid of all. Described as a large, hairy, human-like creature, Bigfoot is said to inhabit the forests of North America, particularly in the Pacific Northwest. Sightings date back to the 19th century, though the creature's legend has grown with time. Sightings and evidence. The first recorded sighting of Bigfoot occurred in 1811, when a trader named David Thompson reported seeing a large, man-like figure while traveling through the Rocky Mountains. Over the years, there have been thousands of reported sightings across the United States and Canada. These reports typically describe the creature as standing over 7 feet tall, covered in dark hair, and moving quickly through dense forests. Other evidence includes footprints that are often found in remote areas. These tracks, which are said to be larger than human footprints and display a distinct arch, have been analyzed by experts who claim they are unlike those of any known animal. However, skeptics argue that many of the tracks are hoaxes, and some have been shown to be created using prosthetics or carved in mud for a dramatic effect. Theories and explanations. Here are several theories surrounding Bigfoot's existence. Some proponents argue that Bigfoot is a relict hominid, essentially a living ancestor of early humans that has managed to survive in remote areas, undiscovered by science. Others suggest that the creature might be a type of undiscovered ape, possibly a giant version of the known species, such as the orangutan or gorilla. Alternatively, some theorists believe Bigfoot sightings could be attributed to misidentifications of known animals, such as bears or large wild boars. Human psychology also plays a role, as people may see something out of the corner of their eye and subconsciously fill in the gaps with expectations or cultural influence. Some even suggest that Bigfoot sightings are the result of hoaxes or elaborate fabrications designed to gain attention or profit. 2. The Loch Ness Monster. Scotland. One of the most famous cryptids, the Loch Ness Monster, or Nessie, is said to inhabit Loch Ness, a large, deep lake in the Scottish Highlands. The creature is often described as a large, long-necked, aquatic reptile resembling a plesiosaur, an ancient marine reptile that went extinct millions of years ago. Sightings and evidence. The earliest known sighting of the Loch Ness Monster dates back to the 6th century, when St. Columba reportedly encountered a water beast in the River Ness. However, the modern legend of Nessie began in 1933, when a photograph known as the surgeon's photo was published in the Daily Mail. The image, which shows a large, blurry figure in the water, became one of the most iconic pieces of evidence for the Loch Ness Monster's existence. In addition to photographs, numerous people have reported sightings of the creature. These reports typically describe a long, serpentine body with humps, and some witnesses claim to have seen the creature's head and neck rising out of the water. Other pieces of evidence include sonar readings and unexplained disturbances in the water that some believe could be caused by a large, unknown creature. However, many of these claims have been debunked. The surgeon's photo has been revealed to be a hoax, and sonar readings that were thought to show large objects in the water were later explained as underwater vegetation or natural formations. Despite this, the legend of Nessie persists, and people continue to visit Loch Ness in hopes of catching a glimpse of the elusive creature. Theories and explanations. Skeptics generally argue that the Loch Ness monster is a combination of misidentifications, hoaxes, and folklore. Some of the reported sightings can be explained by common animals, such as otters, seals, or even large fish, whose movements might be misinterpreted in the murky waters of the loch. One theory suggests that the creature may be a relic of prehistoric times, a plesiosaur or other marine reptile that somehow survived extinction and is living in the deep waters of Loch Ness. However, the presence of such a large creature in a relatively small lake would pose significant challenges, including the availability of food and the creature's ability to remain hidden from scientists. 3. The chupacabra, Latin America's chupacabra, which translates to goatsucker, is a cryptid from Latin America, primarily reported in Puerto Rico, Mexico, and parts of the southern United States. Described as a reptilian creature with spines along its back and glowing red eyes, the chupacabra is said to prey on livestock, particularly goats, draining their blood. Sightings and evidence. The first chupacabra sighting occurred in Puerto Rico in 1995, when a series of animals, particularly goats, chickens, and dogs, were found dead, their blood drained, and with puncture marks on their bodies. The term chupacabra was coined in response to this unusual pattern of deaths. Witnesses often describe the creature as having spiny, reptilian features, with large eyes and sharp teeth. Some reports suggest that the creature may be able to fly or leap great distances, while others claim it is more like a dog or coyote. Several photographs and videos purporting to show the chupacabra have circulated, but most of these images are either blurry or inconclusive. In some cases, the chupacabra is said to be responsible for livestock deaths, but veterinary investigations often reveal no evidence of blood being drained or unusual puncture wounds. More commonly, livestock deaths are found to be caused by coyotes, dogs, or other predators that prey on domestic animals. 4. The Yeti. The Himalayas Yeti, also known as the abominable snowman, is another famous cryptid said to inhabit the remote and treacherous mountains of the Himalayas. Like Bigfoot, the Yeti is often described as a large, ape-like creature covered in fur, but with the unique distinction of being adapted to life in cold, high-altitude environments. Sightings and evidence reports of the Yeti date back centuries, with ancient Tibetan and Nepali texts referring to a creature resembling the modern-day Yeti. The creature's legend gained international attention in the early 20th century when British explorers began reporting sightings of a large, furry ape-like creature during their expeditions in the Himalayas. One of the most famous pieces of Yeti evidence is the 1951 photograph taken by British mountaineer Eric Shipton. The photo shows a set of large footprints in the snow, which some researchers believe belong to the Yeti. In addition, several other photographs and videos have surfaced over the years, but none have conclusively proven the creature's existence. Other evidence includes hair samples, footprints, and sightings by local populations, particularly in Nepal and Tibet. However, most of these pieces of evidence have been inconclusive, with many experts suggesting that the footprints could be from bears and the hair samples potentially belonging to known animals, such as the Himalayan brown bear. Theories and explanations. Like Bigfoot, many scientists believe that the Yeti could be a misidentified animal, such as a bear or large ape, whose tracks and sightings are distorted by the harsh mountain environment. Some experts argue that the footprints reported by witnesses could belong to the Himalayan brown bear, whose large feet leave a similar impression in the snow. Alternatively, the Yeti could be an undiscovered species of primate or hominid, similar to the Gigantopithecus, a large ape that lived in Asia millions of years ago. However, the lack of concrete evidence makes this theory speculative at best. Skeptics argue that the Yeti is a product of cultural myth and misidentifications. Local people may interpret unfamiliar animal tracks as belonging to a mystical creature, particularly in a region as remote and inhospitable as the Himalayas. Additionally, hoaxes and exaggerations could play a role in the continued mystery of the Yeti. 5. Conclusion. Are these creatures real? The question of whether these mysterious creatures are real remains elusive. Despite thousands of reports, photos, and videos, there is still no definitive evidence to prove the existence of cryptids like Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, the Chupacabra, or the Yeti. What is clear, however, is that these creatures hold a powerful place in human culture. Whether they are the product of misidentifications, hoaxes, folklore, or undiscovered species, they continue to capture the imagination of people around the world. In a world where the unknown still holds sway, the allure of these creatures endures, and the quest to uncover the truth continues no matter how elusive or improbable it may seem. As science continues to advance and exploration of remote regions deepens, we may eventually discover new species or phenomena that challenge our understanding of the natural world. Until then, the mystery remains, and the question persists: are these creatures real? The answer, as it stands, remains a tantalizing unknown.